Now, News Central's senior business correspondent, Joanna Mustapha, is at the conference and joins us now live. Joanna, what has been the highlights so far?
Yeah, specifically today, the focus has been on climate change, sustainable ways of financing economic development, and so much more. It's very easy to undermine the role climate change has played in our economic development. And someone who has been championing that and Pan-Africanism, he's been referred to as the link, between the history of Pan-Africanism. We have with us Professor Horace Campbell. It's a pleasure to have you with us, sir.
Thank you so much, and a pleasure to be speaking to my brothers and sisters here in Dakar, Senegal.
Yes, and of course right now you're speaking to those in Nigeria and across Africa as well. You presented an interesting paper, and there was a lot of centering around Lake Chad Basin. Let us into how what's happening in the drying up of the Lake Chad Basin, how that's affecting economic development in the region in Nigeria.
Well, the Lake Chad Basin Commission is an example of Pan-African cooperation more than 60 years ago, when it was founded. And at that time, the Nigerian hydrologists, engineers, social scientists were at the forefront of working with the Commission. In the past 20 years, anti-people elements have been working against the plans of the Lake Chad Basin Commission for the Trans-Aqua project, which is to build an inter-basin water transfer system from the Congo River through the Wangui River in Burkina Faso, through the Chari River in Cameroon to replenish Lake Chad. This is a project that has been discussed by the Lake Chad Basin Commission for the past 25 years. We now have agreement with those members of the African Union that this is a project for the saving the people of Africa. 300 million people in the Lake Chad Basin are negatively affected by the drying up of Lake Chad. This is not a question for politics. This is a question about the urgency of the lives of the peoples of the region of Central and the Sahelian region of Africa.
Yes, and Nigeria included. We know that you mentioned the Lake Chad Basin Commission, and Nigeria has a role in all of that. I'd like you to highlight the role of Nigeria as well as the African Development Bank. They earlier this year, they staged, would I say some sort of intervention, $10.2 million partnership with the Lake Chad Basin Commission to look into how they can work on what's happening in the crisis there to fuel the economy and the ecological effects. So let us into how far you see that going and resolving the issue, and what more needs to be done, especially by Nigeria.
The most important thing to be done by Nigeria is for those progressive forces among the Nigerian workers, among the Nigerian intellectuals, among Nigerian cultural leaders to develop the public education and the mobilization of resources around Lake Chad. The government of Nigeria has abandoned its responsibility in relationship to Lake Chad. The African Development Bank has not been as proactive as they should be. They're waiting for their cue from the IMF, the World Bank, and the European Central Bank. What we need is for sections of the Nigerian working peoples, those involved in thinking about the future of Nigeria, understanding that this is not a question of money. Nigerians have more than $217 billion overseas that they've illicitly sent overseas. So the money is there to work for building this canal. We need the political will among the progressive elements in Nigerian people, and that political will must come from organizing the young people and the workers against the ruling elements in Nigeria who are standing against the independence, self-determination, and the well-being of the working poor in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Professor Horace Campbell, there with his insights. And of course, we'll expect so much more from him. And we will provide more on the report as well. This is the final day of the IDAN Conference here in Senegal. And we'll continue to bring you more reports here.
Well, thank you so much, Joanna, for giving us updates as regards to IDAN Conference 2025 holding in Dakar.
Thank you.